All right, so this is my demo environment, and first things first, in my demo environment, you will notice that I have a demo client by the name of ABC Brokerages, and also you will notice that this is a SaaS platform, which means there is no real installation on your computers. Everything is browser based, and all that you really need to run the platform is just a browser and an internet connection. Secondly, the platform is completely responsive in design, which means you can use this platform from any device. You can use it from your phones, from your tablets, from your iPads or your laptops, and from any part of the world. As long as you have an internet connection and a browser, you should be able to use the platform. Another thing you will notice is there's a fair bit of branding that we do for each of our customers. Even though the software is a commoditized platform, you will notice that your logos show up on the top left, all your contact information shows up on the top right, the name of the person who's using the platform is also showing up there. You also have the ability to upload your pictures and things like that for the user. Not only is the branding applicable on the platform, it is also part of any communication that goes out from the platform to your customers. So, for example, any emails or SMS or any confirmation email or proposal that goes out to those customers of yours will all have very similar branding. It will have all your contact information, the name of your agent, and also your logos and other artifacts. And we'll see some examples of that when I actually go through the flows. But before I do that, I just want to quickly talk about a few general settings and how you can very easily personalize that experience for yourself. And there are a few things you can do on the platform to achieve that. First of all, each one of you is given a unique user ID and password without which you can't access your data. So your data is very secure, and only with proper credentials can you access that information. Also, the user logins are all role based. So if you have multiple users in your organization, depending on their roles, they will either see just their data or the data of the entire organization. And Right now, for example, I've logged in as the agency admin, so that would allow me to see all the data across all users in your organization. But if I had a producer role, then I would only be seeing my information or my book of business. So data security is paramount, and we only make those records that are owned by a particular user visible to that particular user. All right, so there are a couple of other settings on the left hand side. You see there are a bunch of settings that you can do here to personalize that experience for yourself. I will go through a few of them given the limited time that we have today. For example, you see this setting called carrier appointments. I mentioned to you earlier that we have over 700 plus carriers on the platform, and that number keeps increasing each month. And across these 700 carriers, if I count all the different lines of business and by state, we probably have over 50,000 plus active plan designs. Now, that kind of data can be fairly overwhelming for some of you. Although we do have some clients who have a national presence and pretty much have a lot of appointments across many carriers. But most of you will have, will be working out of specific states, or maybe working only in a few states and with a few carriers. Depending upon whatever your requirements are, it's very easy to set up the platform with just the carriers that you wish to work with. And how do you do that? You can go into this carrier appointments, and whatever carriers are listed here is what you will see on the platform. For example, I'm in my demo environment, so you see that I have over 6,000 entries in my platform. That's because I want to have all the carriers that's available on the platform to demonstrate. But in your case, whichever carriers that you guys want to work with or wish to see on the platform, you will list only those carriers on the platform here under carrier appointments. And it's very easy to do that. You can add these carriers, you can remove them on your own, you can edit them. We do set these things up during your initial onboarding process, but this is something that you can also manage on your own very easily. Even though the title says carrier appointments, there is no, the system doesn't make any judgment on your appointments with these carriers. If it is listed here, you will see their plans. If not, you won't. Irrespective of whether you have an appointment with those carriers or not. Sometimes you may want to see a particular carrier and their plans purely for comparative sake or comparison sake, or sometimes you may be expecting a carrier's appointments in the near future. Or you may have a partner with whom you may be sharing some of that business. Whatever the reasons are, as long as the carriers are showing up in this list, is what you will see while you're quoting and enrolling. There is another menu item under settings called user carrier appointments. This is where you actually can go in and set up your appointment matrix. Um, and You see here that I'm logged in as Girish, and in my case I'm more of that traditional user. I use my own appointments and my own writing numbers. So you see that in my case pretty much every carrier is associated with my own writing numbers. Now that doesn't have to be the case. I can show you another user here called Cine. Now in her case you will see that she does have a few appointments with some of the carriers, but there are also carriers in this list where she's actually using my writing number to submit. Now this is something that's very popular among our customers. So if you have multiple agents or users in your organization, and if not all of them are appointed with all the different carriers, you can clearly mix and match and have those agents use each other's appointments to complete the application. The system is smart enough to know that to pick the right writing number based on this configuration here in settings before it submits the application to the carriers. So very important feature, very popular feature among our agents. Let me go through one more such personalization step here. If I go into agency details, you see this section called marketing details. This is where you can create those custom URLs, and it's very easy to do that. You can actually just select the business segment from the first drop down, and you can select the line of business from the second drop down, and just click on the button generate the URL, and there you go. You see those custom URLs. These URLs have within the URLs they have embedded your IDs, and anytime you take these URLs and put them behind some buttons on your website, any customer who clicks on those buttons will automatically be able to do a self-service quoting for that particular line of business. And since your IDs are associated with it, you're automatically associated as the agent for that particular enrollment or quote. Let me show you some examples of that, and you can see how easy it is to use these marketing URLs. So I have this website, ABC Brokerages. I'm sure you guys all have websites too. It doesn't matter how mature those websites are. We have all kinds of users using our platform. I did not know if I mentioned to you earlier, but we have over 2,000 agencies currently using Broker Engage, and many of those agencies have hundreds of agents within those agencies. So plenty of users, and they all have all kinds of maturity levels as far as their websites go. But irrespective of that maturity of your website, you can easily put those buttons on your website and enable that self-service quoting and enrollment. For example, you see here on this demo site, if I click on this button, it takes me to a page where it is asking me for a zip code, As you can see, this is that as a result of that marketing URL being embedded behind that button. And now a customer doing that is automatically tracked by the system, and anything that they do here is automatically tracked, and at some point they will be asked to enter their contact information, which is right now. And when they do that, you can see that information right on your platform when you log in. And if they have completed an enrollment, all the more better, because then you are automatically associated as the agent of record. Even if they don't complete the enrollment, they will appear up as leads on your platform for you to follow up. So as you can see, a very nice feature, very popular feature among our customers, and very easy to create those marketing URLs on your website. Okay, with that said, I will now start off with some actual flows.